Are you looking to adopt a child and you have some questions? My name is Carl Birkhead. I'm an attorney with Worth Law Office in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I want to help you make law easy by giving you just a couple of you know, tips about adoption and just kind of explaining the process to you a little bit. So I'm going to keep this strictly within a legal adoption. I say legal adoption. I'm going to keep this strictly with an adoption that's not going through an adoption agency. It's not going through DHS. It's basically if somebody is coming to me and saying, "Hey, I want to terminate these parental rights. Have this person adopt my kids," or "I want to terminate these parental rights and I want to adopt these kids." It doesn't necessarily have to be a step parent adoption, although that is the most common. I've seen a lot of situations where aunt and uncle get guardianship, or maybe the grandparents get guardianship of the child, and they ultimately decide that guardianship isn't the way that they want to go, and they want to adopt the child instead. It all comes down to the same thing. You have to be looking at if for 12 out of 14 months prior to filing the petition for adoption, have the parents whose rights you want to terminate, have they either failed to establish and maintain a positive relationship with the kids, or have they failed to provide support to the children, either according to a child support order or according to their means? There are other grounds for it, but those are the two most common. So I'm just going to kind of stick with that for the purposes of what we're talking about here, because what you're looking at for the process is you'll file the petition, you'll go ahead and serve the parents with that petition. If the parents decide that they're going to fight the case, the court is likely going to appoint an attorney to represent the child for the duration of the proceedings. Um, if mom and dad are going to fight it the whole way through, you have to have a trial to determine whether or not the adoption can go forward without the consent of the parent. If you have that trial, obviously you'll put on your witnesses, you'll present your exhibits, and you'll ask the court to go ahead and deem the child eligible for adoption without parental consent. Or if the parents want to go and consent to it, they can sign consents, and you can present that to the court. It goes in two stages. The first is the termination, or the determination that the rights are eligible to be terminated. That's You would either have a hearing or the parents would consent. The other side is the actual adoption itself. Sometimes, if everything works out well, you can have that done the same day as the termination, or you'll have to have a separate hearing set for that. By the time you're ready to do the adoption, though, you'll need to make sure that your ducks are in a row. Your home study is done. Your background checks are done. You're going to have affidavits put in place saying that uh, you're not a lunatic, that you haven't had protective orders filed against you. You're going to have affidavits in place talking about the financial disclosures for what you have actually expended to get this adoption happen. Um, it's a relatively straightforward process if no one's going to fight it. If someone is going to fight it, it just throws a couple of extra kinks in the works, but ultimately you'll get to the same result. If you have questions about this, please feel free to let us know. My name is Carl Birkhead, and I'm here to make law easy.